Do you actually, you know what? I feel like it's only just to start at the end, and then we can work our way into the beginning.
Well, obviously chat's already going on about robbery. The replay didn't look like there was any contact, but there's like, I guess they have the chip in there. It went off. Maybe it was his hair. Crazy. The margins in this game, we saw 2 offside goals by about like half of a body. They were both pretty close. Oh my God. Vega almost getting like 3 goals on corners. Perisic still doing it. Ronaldo gets his knockout goal, and then the guy that comes on for him scores a winner. I mean, what a crazy game. I like you said, I'm a little all over the place. I mean, it had everything, and we're just getting started. It is genuinely nuts.
Nuts is the right word. And how does VAR see one camera angle? Well, here's the thing, and I want everyone to hear this from the horse's mouth. I don't like VAR. I currently think that it's not doing a great job when humans are involved. There's a microchip in the ball. Like, as much as I want to be cynical about it, like, that's what it is. He touched the ball because there's data proof that he touched the ball. And so there is no cheating in this scenario. There is no variance for error. What happened was he touched the ball. This happened to Julian Alvarez a couple of years ago on the penalty with Real Madrid. Now, whether you want to argue that small amount of a touch makes any of a difference, I bet you for all Portugal fans, they will say it did. And for Croatian fans, they will say it didn't. And I think that's why you have VAR here, is so that you cut out the gray area. There is no gray area in this situation. You put a chip in the ball.
It's not objective. I think it hit the Croatian player before
first. That's why
I don't think it did. The naked eye did not look like it made contact with the Croatia player. But again, if there's really a chip in the ball and it went off as it crosses past the Croatia player, it hit him. So as much as I wanted that game to go into extra time, at the end of the day, it is a good thing to not have objectivity in the rules. And the more objectivity there is, the worse it gets. You could look at the Premier League as a prime example of it. So in the moment, it's very frustrating, but the precedent is important to consider.
True. For me, when I look at it and I think about the play as a whole, like, if I was a fan of a team and I wasn't given that call, knowing that there was a microchip in the ball and knowing that they have the data to prove it, I would be so fucking livid, because it's some of the, like we said, there's no gray there. It just is. He touched it, so therefore it is offsides. It's not like the stuff that we saw, and we'll probably talk about it a little bit with Flo Balogun. There's no gray determination between a user and a human telling you that this is right or wrong. It's very similar to semi-auto. Like, they're not even giving margins this much, right? So if you're not giving margins on offsides by this much, you cannot give margins in a ball being touched by this much. It's just about keeping things consistent. And for me as a fan, like, I just want them to keep it consistent. To Grant's point, I would have much rather the game gone to extra time, because it was a brilliant game. And I think that this controversy potentially can overrule what was a brilliant game. But so from this point on, I want to stop talking about that, because I thought this game was fantastic. It had everything. It had everything that we would have wanted especially in the second half. Croatia, I feel like the first half was more, and it could be true. We'll talk about Spain in a little bit, but let's start with the way that Croatia came out in the second half, because they honestly took it to Portugal out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they got Portugal frustrated towards the end of the first half. You could see it in the way they were playing, in the way they were late in challenges and just leaving it in a little bit on the Croatian players. I thought it was crazy that they played Perisic at left back in a 4, but they were able to do what they wanted to do, which is keep it even at half. And then, like you said, halftime substitution, they really went for it, and they got an early goal. They continued to go for it, and they continued to create chances up until Ronaldo's disallowed goal was very well taken. I think he didn't really have much of an impact in the game. Prior to that, we saw a lot of him dropping deep for, just to get involved, but no real purpose. And he's getting frustrated there. But really, again, we have similar discussions with Haaland in the middle of the Prem season during those lulls, if you will, where he'll just do nothing for an hour, and then boom, he pops up and shows the quality. So Ronaldo, he did do that. And then really well taken penalty. Finally gets the monkey off his back, gets a World Cup knockout goal. And then, I mean, even before that, I think it's an important talking point. Yeah, no, he just drops deep for the drop deep. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that Martinez went with a quadruple sub is very bold, but it worked. I think take Bruno and Vitinha, as good of players as they are, the impact wasn't there today. Pedro Neto, it's usually not, bar a few crosses, and then Nelson Semedo's still doing it. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it worked out, and then takes Ronaldo off, goes back to the original shape. Ramos scores the winner. So you do have to give credit to the manager, very heavily criticized manager, for seemingly getting it right today.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I think we've all given Martinez slack on the pod about him not making this Portugal team work. And I still have those complaints. Like, there's no reason with that midfield that this shouldn't work. I think that's a big thing going into the Spain game that we can touch on, but it's ballsy to take off Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, and Ronaldo in the same game before 90 minutes is up, especially with the idea that maybe there's penalties looming. You're going to take off your 3 best penalty takers. That's crazy. And it fucking worked out. And Pedro Neto. Yeah, because fuck, he's awful, man. I mean, I get it now watching from like a supportive side where you're watching like you want a team to win and you have to support Pedro Neto playing.
Oh,
He's awful. He's such a difficult watch. And like the stuff that
his
you were
attitude.
talking about, like the crossing and the attitude, you see it. Like it's one thing if Ronaldo's being a dickhead. I can kind of get it. It's another if it's Pedro fucking Neto.
Like, you're the run and cross guy. Like, just do what you're supposed to do, man. Yeah, it's a really frustrating watch. Leao definitely added something different. I felt like he was also a little quiet in the first half, and I was almost,
yeah.
I think I texted you. I was saying he needs to be subbed off, and literally as I said that, he just rattled the crossbar. He just has that quality. He can be, just a passenger in games, but then all of a sudden, if he gets an inch or two of space, he can make something happen. So I don't know. From what I see with Leao, it seems like a mental thing because he's got all that quality clearly there. I mean, at his size too, the way he just glides with the ball, really impressive.
It is impressive. And I think that for Portugal, who have maybe too many players that don't take on their man, he's almost the perfect balance. And I think that it comes at a cost, right? Like the first goal that Croatia scores, like he's nowhere to be found. Like same with Pedro Neto, just nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And as wingers, when you already are playing with a Ronaldo, you can't have that to a certain extent. But in terms of the first 3 games that we've seen of Portugal compared to this one, they were way more dynamic off the left. Actually had something to them, especially for Nelson Semedo, who maybe, if anything, that we can talk about with Portugal, like he has to be maybe their best player, which is crazy as a left back in terms of providing width and actually just competent play for the most part. Like, you know what? This has happened a bunch.
Fan vote.
It's fan voting. Lamine Yamal won it today for Spain.
Easy.
I'm pretty sure Cucurella had 2 assists, didn't he? As a left back.
Oyarzabal had 2 goals.
Yeah, and Lamine Yamal won it. You could see his face. Like most of these guys, when they're winning these awards, they're just like, the fuck?
Jude in that one game. Yeah,
like he even said it should have gone to the man of the match award should not be a fan voted thing.
The superior player of the match, Dylan, please.
Oh, so sorry. Superior player of the match. I'm waiting for that trophy to still come. I ordered it a while ago.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, so that I can drink it on the pod because it's fucking awesome. And it only cost me like $25, not to plug Michelob or anything, but
that's not too bad. It's not too bad.
No,
just cover the logo like FIFA. Cover the logo like FIFA.
Oh, what I'll do is I'll put a C.O.C. sticker just right on top.
Yeah.
I just need to give you one of them.
Oof. Yeah. It's an interesting conversation, I think, just because if Ronaldo stayed in the box and did what he was supposed to do and the wide players did what they were supposed to do, and by that I mean Neto, stop pump faking, just get the ball in the box, beat your man down the line if you can, and lay out, create, beat your man, try and get a shot off, try and get a ball across. And Ronaldo's in the right place, that'd be great, but unfortunately not all of those things are happening. Neto's not doing his job, and then Ronaldo, again, not occupying. I feel like in the first half, it was almost Bruno Fernandes more often than not occupying the center backs, and that's not what you need. It's the exact opposite of what you want. Bruno can pick up the ball there, and maybe he'll play a few out of bounds, trying to switch play, but he's going to have an impact there on the ball compared to Ronaldo just showing. So Ramos, again, not the best striker in the world by any stretch, does get a good goal at the end, but I don't think he was great before the goal either. So,
No.
yeah, you're not going to bench Ronaldo, but I think a fair argument could be, are you going to have a shorter leash on Ronaldo? Maybe an hour if he doesn't have an impact. Are they willing to take him off? That's a very valid conversation, but I don't think Ramos is going to start. Oh man, yeah. Eli thankfully brought something up. Croatia deserve better, and unfortunately, I don't think deserve is ever a word we can really use in the game. You just don't really deserve anything. It's not fair. It hurts. Like even just as a neutral watching, like, oh, it's gut wrenching, but nothing's fair, man.
Yeah, did Croatia deserve better? They had their chances. They should have won the game. They didn't. I think that last bit it's cruel. Just as it was cruel with the Iran not getting their equalizer, or sorry, their winner. Or you could make that argument about a bunch of teams, but Croatia had chances in this game. They had chances to win this one, and they didn't. And I think ultimately, when we talk about the teams that we're going to talk probably a little bit later about the dark horses that have failed, most of those come down to just them not taking their chances to either kill off a game or win a game. You could say the same thing about Senegal, right?
2 offside goals today. And the second one was even more unnecessary to be in an offside position. So.
I was thinking about that on the was it the one that I thought that they had won it? Not the last one. There was one before that where I was like, you just can't be offsides, and it's the same. Yeah,
it was that cutback and then near post finish, right?
And it's just like you can't. No, it was the runner, like where he was off by the body.
Yeah.
Same with Ronaldo. Like in that position, you just can't be off.
Those are the margins, man. And then they did play really well. I mean, after that first half, it's like, man, like the game plan's there, like the counter opportunities are there, and they just have no pace in the team. Like that was really what seemed to be hurting them, but they turned it on. And of all people to get that chance to early in the second half, Perisic, like, yep, that's the perfect guy. And he puts it away. The other guys didn't seem to have the same composure. Costa also had a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
Kovacic had those 2 shots. Unbelievable performance from Costa. He might finally get that move. I feel like he's been linked for years to get a big move. So maybe he'll get it.
A weird one. He's a weird customer because he's clearly good enough.
Yeah.
Like, why hasn't he gotten his move? Today. Overall for Portugal, if we're gonna clean up the Portugal segment and move into Spain, they have not impressed me at any point. It's very similar to England. Like I watch them play, and I think you've got the talent, you've got the players, but you're not getting. You're getting results, but it doesn't look pretty.
No,
it's not convincing. It's a little ugly, and even to England's credit, like England looked far and away better than this Portugal side.
Yeah, I mean Tuchel, he had a pretty interesting quote that I liked about it. Like, now's not the time, and I'm definitely paraphrasing here, but now's not the time. We're going to get these beautiful, pretty games. Like, we need to grind out results against these tougher teams, and then you'll see us truly play against the bigger side. So I don't know how we're classifying this version of Croatia, but Spain is definitely a step up in competition, regardless of where you do have Croatia. So in England's case, for example, playing against DR Congo, of course, that's going to be one of those games. It's going to be ugly. They're not going to give you an inch. But in this game, it was definitely a little more open. And Portugal, Spain, I think we're definitely going to really see what they're made of, because if you don't have it, they're going to punish you.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about Spain. I was in and out of that game. Obviously, I was working, so it made it a little difficult. What I had watched, and it's the biggest compliment that I can paint to Spain, is that they make games boring.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not the same as like side to side boring. It's like they just completely dominate a match. They don't let you have an inch, and then they hurt you when you finally sag off half a step. And then they
kill games so well.
And then
possession.
You just can't get the ball back. So even if you're trying to get back in the game, you're trying to build momentum.
The counter press, they won't let you back.
They won't let you.
The amount of times, I forgot what point in the game, it may be like 75th minute, but it was like 3 straight times Austria won the ball, played a few passes, tried to get out, immediately swarmed upon. They lose the ball. Spain have numbers in the final third. Like, it is nonstop. And like you said, if there is an opening, they have no problem playing it long. This isn't the Spain of old. Like, they're more than willing to play a long ball. And then Oyarzabal always popping up in the box, just simple finishes, striker finishes. And yeah, they're starting to round into form, it looks like.
Question for you in chat, because I thought differently. Do you know how old he is?
Is he like 29?
Yeah. You're spot on. I thought he was in his
Okay.
30s, to be honest with you. I was thinking of him as
It's
Unk.
close.
He's like he's supposed to be in the prime of his year. You know what I mean? Like that's a prime age, 29.
That's a Spanish striker right there.
Yeah, he looks like he's fucking 38. And I was like, he's like doing it. Unk's doing it. 30. I thought like honestly, I thought he was like 34. And he's 29. Look, it works. They work. My only concern, honestly, and I haven't been that impressed with Spain, other than the fact that they just dominate games. They look really one-dimensional without Nico Williams on the left.
Yeah,
It's working for him.
Little reliant on Yamal, and I think today he still had a good game, but there's such a high expectation from him. Definitely Limer, not an easy matchup to have 1v1, but yeah, Baena, who's a solid player, he had an assist today, but he's a completely different profile to Nico Williams. Cucurella just bombing forward definitely helps Baena out on that side. But like you said, it definitely does feel a bit one-dimensional and just get Lamine the ball, see what we can do. But once the games open up a little bit, that's when I think you really get to see, their quality in the middle. Danny Olmo's just a completely different player for for Spain.
True.
More consistent, it feels like. Maybe it's just because he's fit, but yeah, I think that's really if Spain just get that first goal, it becomes a lot easier for them because then the other team will have to come out and play a little bit, and then their midfield will be able to do what they do.
Yeah, I think the Portugal game is a really interesting test because I don't really feel like they've been tested, Spain. I feel this way about a lot of the bigger teams just because of the extended format. Austria they weren't very good, for being honest with you. Like
I thought they had a good game plan, to be fair, just not the quality for it. Ragnick masterclass.
Exactly. They don't have the quality to compete with Spain. Like on paper,
just wearing number 9 on the left wing, man. That's
Portugal on paper have enough quality to compete, and I think from a tactical standpoint, like Portugal playing off the counter is probably the best way to play for them if they play through Bruno Fernandes. They haven't done that all tournament. I don't expect to see it in this one because Martinez just doesn't want to do that.
Especially if you do Leao and Neto. That's a lot of pace.
Yeah, and then you just
Pedro
have trailers.
Porro, if he's playing. Pedro Porro's playing right back.
This feels like one-way traffic where Portugal have played bad, and so they will get maybe not steamrolled, but I think it'll be comfortable for Spain. But every time I've said that this tournament, it hasn't been that way.
I just can't see any game being a blowout. It's really hard to predict any game being a not marginal path to victory. It's just how tight this competition's been. But yeah, I definitely would favor Spain. But again, with the profiles that Portugal have, it's not like they're going to throw Palhinha in there and just sit back, right? Like Neves, Vitinha, Bruno, they all love being on the ball. So I don't know how comfortable they'll be doing that necessarily. Yeah, Eli, I can see that, man. I can see it being a boring game. But again, a lot of these so-called boring games have really picked up in the second half. This game was not particularly great in the first half, Portugal, Croatia, and all of a sudden we got a classic. So we'll definitely have our eyes on it.
Yeah, I think from a expenditure on the bodies, like Portugal have had to grind out a couple of games in a row here. I'm interested to see how that plays out. This is the first time where teams haven't had like a week to
there's gonna be space to play in. There's gonna be space to play into. Especially early in the Spain game, like over the top, Austria were getting numbers forward. So let's see.
I think to the idea of we talk about storylines in this World Cup, you get Ronaldo versus Lamine Yamal, and like in the same sense of we were kind of hoping that maybe it would be like a Messi versus Lamine Yamal. Like maybe this is the tournament where Lamine Yamal and them have to go through that gauntlet, and Lamine stakes his claim as one of the greatest players potentially. You know what I mean? Like the best player in the world. That's what most people would probably consider him as, or
he's up
one
there,
of, if not, up there with the likes of Mbappe and stuff. And
we
haven't really gotten a Yamal game. He's had one goal. He wasn't fit for the first one.
He's getting back to fitness. I think he looked better today. He definitely looked more fit today.
Yeah,
but
he needs someone on the left. Is Nico Williams out for the rest of the tournament?
I think it's a new injury. So he's nursing a hamstring. It's
yeah. I think that the thing that'll be interesting is that matchup is Nuno Mendes versus Lamine Yamal. It's the one to watch for me. If Mendes can do what he's done to a lot of really good right wingers in club play to Lamine Yamal, they become a little one-dimensional, and we've seen what that looks like when it's I mean, Uruguay, they only scored 1 goal. Cabo Verde, they didn't score. Like,
No.
they can become pretty one-dimensional if Lamine Yamal is not creating advantages, and that's the matchup I'm watching. I don't know. Do you have another matchup that you're watching in that match?
No. That's definitely it. If you have a way of taking him out of the game, that's going to really help your chances. I think that's really easy. But at the same time, if Leao's going to earn another start, do they trust Leao tracking back
I wouldn't.
to help out on Lamine? I doubt it. I think we can very well end up seeing Neto ending up on the left, even though he has this reputation for being a winger that tracks back. Just because, like, if you're not as good, you'll get that reputation. Oh, because he runs a lot. Like he'll forget to track his man. You could look at the Perisic goal. So,
yep,
we'll see. But that's definitely the matchup. In the midfield too, Rodri. He's been very.
He's been a little suspect.
Boring. Very boring. Yeah, not really looking to push it. And again, he's had some major injuries. He's wrong side of 30, but yeah, it's Yamal.